Alright, alright. What's really going on in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency? Today, I'm going to be taking a look at XLM, Stellar Lumen, against USDT. Going to be taking a look at some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be assessing some of the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? Are you bullish? You think we've found support? We're going to rally upward, interact with that, 50 cent, 75 cents, almost $1 level that we kind of came from not too long ago. Or are we still bearish and some downside is ahead of us? We're at resistance and we're going to interact with some of these like lower levels here that we came from in the not so distant past. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on price action moving forward. Now jumping right into it. To kind of recap, as you can see, price action rallying, vertical consolidation downwards for a period of weeks before another kind of vertical spike upon finding support. We do have price action interacting with what appears to be this very crucial sideways range, all the way from 24 cents up to 79 cents, kind of 80 cents there, then all the way back down to 24 cents. And so with this wick kind of a few days ago down to that 19-cent level, I do perhaps suspect some kind of more sort of continued downside here with that reach kind of through this resistance. In addition to price action, this daily candle appears to be opening below this kind of like 24-cent level, perhaps confirming it as resistance moving forward. And so if this, like I said, 24 cents is confirmed as resistance, I do believe my next kind of bearish target is kind of 16 cents. And so there is going to be a level that we can hold before 16 cents that we will see in a moment, although price action looking tad bearish based on the kind of current levels, resistance at 24 cents, and your daily candles closing kind of below. Now when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the Fibba Zucchini, lines of Illuminati, geometry, sacred symmetry, bikinis, martinis, and Illuminati again, we can see a new perspective come into play when we consider this 200 daily moving average price action falling and breaking below it on the kind of 7th of June there. Looking to find support at the 0.382 Fibonacci line at 32 cents. Failed to hold that level and made our way down to my kind of more crucial support line at 24 cents. And now we appear to have broken perhaps 24 cents, and we do seem to be at this current exact moment respecting it as resistance. And so I believe this 0.236 Fibonacci line at 21 cents is going to be a kind of very bullish target that we can bounce off of if price action holds here. That'll be a higher low relative to the 22nd of June when we reach down to kind of 19 cents there. So price action, even if we do find resistance at 24 cents, we can still hold at 21 cents. Failure to hold 21 cents will likely bring us to my 16-cent level. Although, like I said, we do seem to be bullish enough to perhaps bounce off of this range and find ourselves back above 24 cents. I can be more short-term bullish if price action is confirming 24 cents as support. The next resistance is going to be that 0.382 Fibonacci line at 32 cents. And then after that is another significant resistance level at 38 cents, which also happens to be correlating with the 200 daily moving average, but I suspect that will kind of come downward as price action kind of finds its way sideways. So we do have a lot of kind of resistance moving forward. I do believe price action is going to have to break these levels and then come back down to them as support. And so we have the 0.382 Fibonacci line at 32 cents, the 38-cent resistance level I've drawn, the 0.5 Fibonacci line at 41 cents, and then the 48-cent level as resistance just under the 0.618 Fibonacci line at 50 cents. And so there's very, very significant resistance moving forward. And I do believe we will have to build up enough momentum to kind of break these levels and then, like I said, confirm them as support moving forward. We do have that sell for EngineeringRobo, a tad bearish on price action at the moment, supporting this kind of like downward price action. This consolidation downward to support, I believe, can be bullish in the long run, the kind of more downwards and sideways that we have. I do believe the more accumulation we can have, the more bullish we can be in the long run. And the fundamentals of XLM, I do believe, are bullish enough to kind of maintain price action in the uptrend long term, although we could very well have some continued sort of perhaps consolidation downward for like over a month perhaps before we can find ourselves kind of rallying back up again. And so lots going on with Stellar at the moment. Price action looking to find support, currently interacting with resistance against USDT. When we consider XLM against the price of Bitcoin, a little bit of a new perspective comes into play here. Price action looking to be finding support. That's the difference between the kind of like USDT and the BTC chart. Got two different perspectives here. Price action above my 751 Satoshi level is going to be a tad more bullish in the short term. Holding above that level can be more bullish in the midterm. Failure to hold that range will likely bring us down to that 669 kind of likely area that we consolidated under the 751 Satoshi level for kind of a period of days before continuing upward. And so that kind of, like I mentioned, the 669 Satoshi level is going to be my kind of most bearish target, my most bullish bearish target, rather. If we are bearish enough to interact with that level, I do believe that's where we will bounce and likely recover. Failure to hold that range will bring us into some more treacherous lows that we've kind of seen at the kind of beginning of this year, end of last year. Significant resistance found above 1203 Satoshi to 1286 Satoshi. We had several rejections off of it on the 28th of November of 2020, 13th of February in 2021. We had these kind of mini rejections at the 6th and 7th of May of 2021, but then we ended up breaking kind of upward throughout the kind of like 10th to 13th, and we set this kind of swing high all the way up there at 1614 Satoshi, interacting with resistance at 1562 Satoshi, bringing price action all the way down through potential support at 1288, breaking through potential support at 1205 Satoshi, to kind of sort of like try to hold that 1048 level. It would appear experiencing rejections off of that 1205 Satoshi was bearish enough to plow through what appears to be weak support at that kind of 1038 level, and we found our way back down to my support at 753 Satoshi. And so new perspective comes into play when we consider EngineeringRobo along with the Fibba Zucchini, Fibba Illuminati lines again. Gotta respect the triangles, you know. We have 200 daily moving average against the price of Bitcoin. Price action closing below and interacting with this 0.382 level as resistance. That 0.382 Fibonacci line at 841 Satoshi is going to be some local resistance moving forward that we kind of see price action interacted with between the 7th of January to the 28th of January. So we could very well have a few weeks above 751 Satoshi and under 841 Satoshi as we try to confirm this level as support. A 0.236 line at 657 Satoshi, just under my 669 level, is going to be kind of further support at that range if we are bearish enough to break 751 Satoshi. As soon as we can break that 0.382 Fibonacci line, resistance will be found at that 200 daily moving average. There's going to be a lot of sell pressure coming off of it. And then even once we get back above it, that 0.5 Fibonacci line at 988 Satoshi is going to be a significant resistance moving forward, I do believe, in addition to every range between the 0.618 line and the 0.786 line. So I believe very, very significant resistance is going to be found above 1138 Satoshi and under 1347 Satoshi. So that is a much more significant range of resistance that I do think we're going to have to build up quite a lot of momentum to kind of break through and then confirm those levels as support moving forward. So we do have that sell for against the price of Bitcoin, suggesting kind of some more downside here. Price action looking to find support against the price of Bitcoin, so we could experience some minor downsides, some prolonged sideways. I do believe the fundamentals are in our favor still. I can be more bearish upon price action failing to hold that 0.236 Fibonacci line. Although at the moment we can still be long-term bullish in my opinion, even though there is plenty of sort of like potent technical bearish suggestions in play. Some short-term downside might occur, but I'm still bullish in the long term in my opinion. But when we consider Bitcoin against USDT, we can see a new perspective come into play. Price action interacting with 32K from below. Potential resistance might be found, and so the more resistance found at this range is the more likely we are to experience this kind of continued downside. That 0.382 Fibonacci line at 27K is looking to become more of a reality at this kind of point in time, with price action opening below that 32K level. If we confirm that as resistance, we are likely to interact with 27K. That could be a very bullish bounce target that we could bounce and recover from very abruptly. Although failure to hold that level will likely bring us all the way back down to like the 19,000s, 18,000s, a 0.236 Fibonacci line at 18,195 is going to be a potential target if we fail to hold the 27K. Price action fundamentally could very much still recover, and we can find a way above 32K. Once that is solidified as support, we can try to break that 0.5 Fibonacci line resistance at 34K. So there's plenty of resistance between 32 and 34. Once we can find support along 34K, our next significant range of resistance is going to be the 0.618 Fibonacci line under the 200 daily moving average. 41,500 to like 43,000 is going to be very potent resistance, and so plenty of resistance up ahead. I do believe there is room to allow The uptrend, I do believe, will allow more downside, even though we can to still be bullish in the long term. Some more downside could occur. We can find Bitcoin trading in the kind of 20Ks and perhaps even the teens again, and still be kind of bullish in the long term. I do believe my most bearish target, if we do fail to hold 27K, I still think 27K could very well be a bottom, but failure to hold that level, we got to go with the flow of the market. So failure to hold 27K, my next significant line of support is going to be kind of just under sort of like that 19K level, the previous sort of all-time highs that we kind of rallied from. If we were to come down and confirm that as support, I do believe that is going to be the most bullish outcome for Bitcoin in the long term. We've had some very aggressive parabolic, near parabolic kind of moves upward here since that kind of break from the beginning of October of 2020. We've been rallying up very hard ever since, taking a break at the kind of 7th of January to the 29th of January. So we took a break for about a month, then got back up into that 60K level. Resistance was found, higher lows, higher highs, lower lows, and here we are back at 32K again. So failure to hold 32K will likely bring us down to 27K. Failure to hold that level, we can perhaps expect the very low 20s to perhaps the high teens again. Sell 4 against the price of Bitcoin. We're down below that 200 daily moving average. Resistance found at 0.5 Fibonacci line. Price action in a very critical state. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Thank you for tuning in. Try EngineeringRobo free with a link in the description. Let me know what you're doing with your bag. If you have one, do you trade Bitcoin? Do you trade XLM? Are you accumulating in these lows? Have you sold your whole bag? Or have you resisted to give in to the FUD present in the kind of crypto sphere here? Let me know what you're doing with your bag if you have one. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.